What's up, everybody? My name is Vincent. Welcome to Cryptolution, where we talk about everything under the moon in the crypto universe. Today's Tuesday, October 14th. Now, in today's dog video specifically, I do want to talk about when we could experience a major pump within dog's price. And in my thoughts and in my opinions, I think it won't happen until Bitcoin and especially Ethereum have their rally first. Then I think dog Bitcoin and also altcoins will rally afterwards. So I want to share with you all these different points in this video to help you understand when we possibly could expect that major pump within dog's price. Until then, altcoins and dog for that matter are in the accumulation phase. So let's get right into it. I want to dive deeper into this so that you can understand what we could expect in the price of Bitcoin, in the price of Ethereum, and how that actually positively reflects on dog. So smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, don't forget to join us on X, and please be careful with any of the scammers down in the comments below. I'll never reach out via WhatsApp, Telegram, direct messaging, or email, so please be careful and invest safely. Guys, girls, let's get right into it. Okay, so dog Bitcoin right now is down 5% over the past 24 hours, still consolidating around beneath the 200 million market cap range. Now look at Bitcoin's price. It's at around 113,000. Just as of yesterday, it dropped around close to 111,000 US dollars. It's because we saw this hyper unit whale who was shorting Bitcoin before Trump made his tariff announcements against China that made hundreds of millions in profit. Well, I'll tell you more about that person in just a little bit, but let's look at meme coins. Right now, meme coins are kind of still in the red. They haven't really pumped that much. I remember when Pudgy Penguins was close to around 0.044. Now it's down 0.0025, so that's pretty low. Then also we have SPX 6900. This used to be at around $1.50 to around, I think, close to $1.70. Now it's $1.24. I mean, everything has dropped significantly. Dog Bitcoin is still within the top 200 coins, which is really great news. So right now, I think that eventually we're just kind of waiting for Bitcoin and Ethereum to continue the next leg up. Now, we got to talk about the hyper unit whale. This is the leverage trader that was betting hundreds of millions against Bitcoin's price, pretty much shorting it, prior to Trump making that announcement against China's 100% tariffs, and then closing that position right after that announcement. So he made hundreds of millions of dollars. Well, yesterday we saw that this specific wallet had, again, $500 million worth of shorts against Bitcoin's price again. But as of this morning, because of what we heard from Jerome Powell, he actually closed his position. So he's roughly in about like maybe 5 million in profit. That's it. But completely closed the position. So this person is no longer shorting Bitcoin and possibly could be longing Bitcoin. We don't exactly know. But this is the wallet right here. And right now there is no perpetual trades that are shorting or even longing Bitcoin. So this is just kind of the activity that's been going on. And as you can see, they've just completely closed all the shorts. So that's just good news. But this was all really due to this. So if you don't know, Jerome Powell just flipped dovish. He's basically saying that economy roughly is where it was in September, that pre-shutdown data hints growth could outperform expectations, plus a weak labor market justified by a September rate cut. So what does this all mean? Basically, he said we are approaching the end of our balance sheet contraction in the coming months. In the end, that means quantitative tightening will be ending soon. So when there's quantitative tightening releasing, that means there's quantitative easing. When there's quantitative easing, that means the money printer turns on. That's very bullish for crypto. Quantitative tightening is actually bearish for cryptocurrency and speculative assets. Now, another thing I want to share with you is that Wintermute, which you all know is the market maker that works with Binance, has actually been sending millions of stablecoins back to Binance, which in a way is actually kind of good. So whenever we see Binance sending funds to Wintermute, the market maker, that's actually bearish. But if you see it the other way around, Wintermute sending funds to Binance, it's actually very positive. So if this happens, this could be signaling that people are buying the dip and sending liquidity back to these exchanges so that they can buy Bitcoin and Ethereum or any other altcoin for that matter. And if you've noticed, Ted Pillows pointed out that the average funding rate is actually looking to flip bullish. So eventually, now that Bitcoin's in a negative funding rate, eventually it could be in a positive funding rate, leading to a short squeeze. And if you guys know in leverage trading, a short squeeze basically means we're heading up. And it can head up really fast. That's what short squeezes are. They're like immediate pumps. And also, President Trump just made an announcement out of nowhere. He's saying that he's going to be possibly scheduling a meeting with President Xi from over in China. We don't know if this is confirmed just yet, but they're in the process of scheduling that meeting. And to me, if that does happen and everything works out well, that's very bullish for cryptocurrency. Now, let's talk about when dog could expect to pump. Now, Benjamin Cohen, which I highly respect, I definitely think you should check out his videos. He's saying that basically basically, in this post, in order for altcoins to rally, Ethereum needs to sustain above a 5,000 price point. He predicts that Ethereum could hit a 5,300 price point within the month of October and possibly November. But if Ethereum does not hold or sustain that price, then that means altcoins may not see the parabola event that we all have been waiting for. But in order for Ethereum to stay above, we also need to see Bitcoin hit new all-time highs. But regardless, you're seeing Michael Saylor starting to buy Bitcoin again, regardless of what he's seeing in the price. He roughly bought $27 million worth of Bitcoin. And also we saw that Tom Lee, by the way, bought during the dip, which was the recent capitulation that we saw on Friday, he bought $834 million worth of ETH. And during an interview on Bankless, you see that Arthur Hayes and Tom Lee are sitting down in this interview. Well, at the 58-minute level, their price targets were for Tom Lee. He predicts Bitcoin could hit between 200,000 by 250,000 by end of year. But guess what? He also predicts Ethereum by the end of year could hit between 10 to 12,000. Even Arthur Hayes, he predicts that Ethereum could hit around the 10,000 range. So who's right? Is it Benjamin Cohen or is it Tom Lee? See, Benjamin Cohen works for himself, but he's been pretty good and pretty accurate. Tom Lee works as a hedge fund and also manages funds for many different high-profile clients. So he's actually more, held accountable than Benjamin Cohen is. So if Bitcoin's going to hit 200 to 250,000 by end of year, based on what these guys are saying, or if Ethereum's going to hit 10 to 12,000 by end of year, that means and confirms if Ethereum's going to hit new all-time highs, then we're most likely going to see altcoin markets and altcoin caps hit new all-time highs as well. And as you can see, based on this tool by Crypto Capital Ventures AI unit, if you look at their long-term risk model for altcoin market caps, you can see these are all the altcoins. And in this green right here that we've been trading sideways for so long, this is the altcoin market. We're not even in the moderate risk or the high risk section. Notice that wherever we're in the orange to even deep red colors, this reaches between the moderate to high risk. And then there is a major sell-off that happens right afterwards. But we're not seeing that yet. We're not even seeing yellow or orange. So I think right now, if these guys are right, meaning if Arthur Hayes and Tom Lee are right that Ethereum is going to hit above a $10,000 price point per Ethereum, and Bitcoin's going to hit a new all-time high up to around 200,000 and higher, that means altcoins will rally after that. And you'll see it happen when you start to see yellow sections right here on this tool. So when I'm looking at DAW Bitcoin right now, I'm obviously buying as much as I can, and I've been sharing my trades on X. So regardless of what you think is going to happen with the dog price, even if it goes down to 100 million market cap, I'm buying so much as I can, just given the data that I'm seeing right now. So I think regardless of what we're going to see, I think there's a high potential that dog will rally after Ethereum and Bitcoin rally. And I think the potential of Ethereum and Bitcoin rallying between the end of Q4 2025 is quite high. But I also like to keep myself grounded to thinking like Benjamin Cohen, where, listen, we don't see these confirmations just yet. We can't confirm that this bull market is here just yet until Ethereum reaches new all-time highs. In order for Ethereum to reach all-time highs, we need to see Bitcoin reach all-time highs. And then that's when I think dog will reach into the multi-billions of dollars. But it doesn't mean that dog won't reach $1 billion. I definitely think that dog could reach $1 billion by Q4 2025 if history repeats itself and if everything is staying in line with where it is right now. Dog will definitely hit $1 billion. But will it surpass $1 billion to $5 to $10 billion? Well, we won't know until we see Ethereum and Bitcoin hit those all-time highs. So these are just my opinions. And again, my opinions can change on a day-to-day basis, just what I see in the charting analysis, but also in the data that I see regarding what's going on in X and the whole overall macro landscape, because anything can happen between now and to the end of Q4 2025. So let me know your thoughts down below, and I cannot wait to read them. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join us on X to receive all of our alpha calls and trades regarding Dog and Moon. Till then, see you guys girls next time.